You are watching The Whale Flow, where we look beyond the market and into the architecture of digital civilization. In this episode, we enter the frontier where imagination meets economics, GameFi and the Metaverse. The fusion of gaming, finance, and virtual worlds that is quietly reshaping how humans create and live value online. To understand GameFi and the Metaverse, we must first step back and ask a bigger question: why do people play? Throughout history, play has been a fundamental part of human culture. It is how we learn, compete, and connect. The only thing that changed is where the playing field exists. First it was physical, then digital, and now it is economic. In the blockchain era, games are no longer just entertainment, they are ecosystems. Players are not just consumers, they are participants, investors, and sometimes, even citizens of new digital nations. GameFi, short for game finance, began with a simple idea: what if players could truly own the assets inside the games they play? Traditionally, game economies are closed systems. You buy skins, characters, or weapons, but they belong to the company, not you. If the servers shut down, everything disappears. Blockchain breaks that barrier. With NFTs and tokens, in-game items become verifiable assets owned by the players themselves. You can trade them, sell them, or carry them into other games. Ownership becomes real. The first wave of GameFi exploded in 2021 with titles like Axie Infinity. Millions of players across emerging markets joined not just to play, but to earn. For a brief moment, digital labor became a form of income. It was chaotic and unsustainable, but it proved one thing: gaming and finance could merge into a single economy. However, just like every speculative boom, the first wave collapsed. Play to earn became play to work. Rewards inflated, users left, and the illusion of endless yield broke. But what remained was the seed of something much greater: the idea that virtual worlds could sustain real economies if designed correctly. That evolution gave birth to the next concept: play and own. Instead of turning games into jobs, developers began to focus on creating fun, immersive experiences where ownership simply exists as a natural extension of gameplay. You don't play to make money, you play because you enjoy it, and the assets you earn belong to you. That subtle shift marks the maturation of GameFi. The focus moved from speculation to sustainability. Meanwhile, the Metaverse emerged as the spatial dimension of this new reality. If GameFi gives people economic agency inside virtual environments, the Metaverse gives them space to live in it. It's the idea of a persistent, interconnected virtual world where identity, property, and experience merge into a single digital continuum. In this world, you don't log in, you exist. The term Metaverse became mainstream when Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook, rebranded in 2021. But the idea long predates that moment. From Second Life to Minecraft and VR chat, humans have always sought to extend their presence into virtual spaces. The difference now is that blockchain provides ownership, AI provides intelligence, and virtual reality provides immersion. Together, they create a new layer of human existence, a parallel economy built on code, creativity, and connection. In the Metaverse, every object, from a virtual building to a concert ticket, can exist as an NFT. Every action, from working to socializing, can be recorded and rewarded. Every community can become an economy, governed by its own tokens and rules. What once sounded like science fiction is now a rapidly forming infrastructure. Tech giants are building virtual platforms, while blockchain projects are creating decentralized metaverse frameworks like Decentraland, The Sandbox, and Somnium Space. Each one is a small universe, connected by shared principles of ownership and participation. But to see the Metaverse clearly, we must separate hype from structure. The hype sells fantasy, a virtual escape from reality. The structure builds a foundation, a programmable world that interacts with the real economy. In the long run, the Metaverse is not about virtual reality goggles or digital avatars. It's about the tokenization of human experience. Everything we do, play, work, learn, create, can now have measurable, transferable value. It's not the end of the physical world. It's the expansion of it. For investors and builders, this shift has deep implications. The Metaverse is not a single project or company, it's an economic layer that will integrate across industries. Fashion brands selling digital wearables, real estate firms tokenizing virtual land, entertainment companies hosting blockchain concerts, education systems building immersive learning worlds. In every case, the key concept is the same: ownership and participation. Those who create value share in it directly. However, there are challenges. Building sustainable virtual economies requires balancing three elements: user engagement, monetary stability, and interoperability. If rewards are too generous, inflation kills the game. If ownership is too restrictive, the community loses interest. If ecosystems are isolated, assets lose value. The future of GameFi in the metaverse depends on solving these design problems. And that will take time, discipline, and understanding of both game theory and macroeconomics. It's also crucial to recognize that virtual economies mirror human behavior. When people feel ownership, they act differently, they contribute, collaborate, and care. That's why this evolution matters. Blockchain gaming and the metaverse are not just new technologies, they are experiments in governance, coordination, and human motivation. They test what happens when digital citizens gain economic power, and in that sense, they are social laboratories for the future of civilization. From a macro view, the fusion of GameFi and the metaverse represents a convergence between culture and capital. For the first time, creativity itself becomes a financial system. Every game, every world, every digital experience can sustain an economy around it. The line between entertainment and investment disappears. The teenager designing skins for a virtual avatar might be creating intellectual property. The gamer earning tokens in a virtual city might be building GDP. This is the birth of a new kind of value creation, one driven not by corporations, but by communities. The economies of the metaverse will not be controlled from the top down. They will be built from the bottom up, by users who own a piece of the world they inhabit. That is the most powerful economic experiment of our time. And yet, the real magic of GameFi and the metaverse is not in the money. It's in the meaning. It gives people new spaces to express themselves, to build identity, to belong. It redefines what it means to own your time. And for the next generation, those who grow up entirely in digital environments, it will feel as natural as the physical world does to us. So, when you hear the words GameFi or metaverse, don't just think of games. Think of economies. Think of human coordination at planetary scale. Think of a world where value and creativity merge into one flow. This is the whale flow, where we read the evolution of technology through the logic of systems. Where we study not just the price of tokens, but the structure of civilization itself. And where those who understand the digital economies of today will recognize the blueprint of the worlds we will one day live in.